Hello everyone and welcome to this episode of Astrological Overview, where we will have a closer look at the North and South nodes. If you want to know more about the geometry and the astronomy in this, I suggest that you do a Google search or that you hit your local library and have a closer look in some books about this. The nodes are always moving retrograde when we are standing here on planet Earth, looking out into the universe, into space. So when we're talking about how things are moving, it's always from a position here on Earth. So the nodes are always moving retrograde, which looks as if they're moving backwards. Again, when we are looking out in space here from Earth, moving backwards in the astrological signs. Now the nodes are staying in each zodiac sign for about a year and a half approximately. And the nodes moved into the zodiac signs of Gemini and Sagittarius in May-June 2020, and they will stay there till January 2022. So the energies that we are looking at here, when we move over in this Sagittarius area over here, we are in the South Node. So the nodes are about our destiny. It's about the energy synchronicity between the past and the future. It's where are we, what area are we leaving, and which area are we entering into. So with the Sagittarius energy over here, we are leaving behind or have worked through knowledge and our ability to make right judgment on things. And it's also talking about our belief system, both our personal belief system and the belief system that we have been taught, that we have been raised in, perhaps in our childhood and so on. And also here we are looking at courage, enthusiasm, and where we say there is good luck. This is about believing in yourself no matter what. This is where we are bold, where we are extending our life philosophy through higher education, higher learning, higher teaching. So this is also where we perhaps go on longer trips and where we perhaps feel that we want to spend like 2 months in a country far away, perhaps, that we just want to expand on things here. It's also where we find that we have great self-belief in ourselves as being an authority. So there is something superior in this Sagittarius energy, and where we are just being empowered, like we can see with this kind of Hercules kind of figure over here, where we're in the fire element here. So we just want to conquer, actually. We just want to get out there and move on. We don't like any kind of restriction or limitations. So this is really where what we have been and are still working through to leave behind now in the past. So what is it that we have been, you can say, led into to believe, or what is it that has led us perhaps even astray? What kind of insights, as this is also, we're in the 9th house here, which is the life area of also spiritual learning and teaching, so kind of spiritual insights here as well. So what is it that we have now had the insights on? What is it that we have had so much confidence in, and where we have found ourselves to take gigantic leaps of faith? What is it about our belief system? What is it about our ability to judge things rightly? What is it that we perhaps have taken too much energy in, or too much information, or where we have been traveling around too much, with the fire energy over here and Sagittarius energies, we want to get out and about. We just want to move. This is an action-oriented sign. So this is a very fast-moving energy as well, and very masculine. So with the COVID-19 is one of the first things that that's popping up in my mind, is that we have been restricted in taking these long-term trips, where we have been confined, limited in taking new journeys out in our life philosophy, because we have been under so many restrictions, and there is so much that we have been told that we could not do because of the virus. So we have had to actually consult more alone time, you know, the issue of being alone and staying into our perhaps our smaller community, to stay at home, to only speak to some particular friends and family members, simply to limit this virus outbreak. And that will lead us over to the Gemini energies. That is where we find the North Node. I've put the North Node down here in relation to the Gemini energies. So we have Sagittarius energies over here, and we're finding that these two signs are opposite each other in a chart, but actually we call them sister signs. So if there is something where we find a particular issue or a problem or a challenge, perhaps in a life area where we have Gemini energies, we can very well find the solution in looking in the opposite house of where we would find Sagittarius energies, and so we would find a solution to the problem over here. So with the Gemini energies, like I mentioned before, we are with the planet Mercury. We are in our closer surroundings. We are in our communicative nature here. It's about speaking and writing, communicating things out. It's about our visions, our thoughts. So here we are on a mental level, where we over here was on a more physical action oriented nature. So with Gemini and Mercury here, we are also we're finding them in the third house, where we are in the house of learning, of gaining new information. It's also where we are in our local neighborhood, our local communities, because Mercury is also what we would call the smaller traveler, whereas in Sagittarius and the ninth house we find Jupiter as the bigger traveler. So Mercury likes to take another turn. It likes to keep asking questions and checking out the details. So that's where we have been moving into for the last since May, June 2020, and where we are beginning to exchange information. We are trying to communicate, but only with very close people around us, you know, our closest friends and family members, as we have been limited in our social life. So this is about really starting to communicate out some kind of information. You know, what have we learned from this? Where are we going now? This is the future we are moving into now. So for the next few months here, where we are closely coming out, or slowly moving out of this Gemini Sagittarius dialogue, we are gonna be even more focused on this communication. We're going more and more into this Gemini energy. So we're going to see even more communication going on. You know, did you hear about this? Did you see that on television last night? Did you read that in the newspaper? Information exchanges like that. And again, it's people within your close surroundings. It's also about your siblings. It's about your neighbor. It's about perhaps the colleagues with whom you work you know, colleagues that you are working more with than other colleagues, and persons that you are holding in your close surroundings. It can also be people that you meet in the supermarket on an everyday basis. So it's like there is this wanting to communicate more information that we have been looking into all this time. When we've been sitting at home, we have also been more on social medias. We have been doing more Google searching, because there is something here that we want to find out, you know, information not only on COVID, but information on different things really, where we over here expanded and was really out and about. Now it's really a double check on that information over here. You know, let's have a double check. What was it that we were told to believe in? Why did we make such judgments which we did? Why were we so enthusiastic about this and that? Why did we feel so empowered in this and that? Why did we hold that energy in those specific areas of life? And now we're taking a double check on the information over here. What was it really that was going on over here? And how are we going to process it all now? And so here we are becoming our own gurus, you know, where we are asking questions in what to believe and what not to believe. And also when it comes to religion, as we have religion as a theme over here as well. What is there to, you know, what is it that we believe in? Gemini asks questions. Gemini makes another turn around the information that it has gathered. It's communicating it out to try to see it from more than just one side. We have duality over here in the sign of Gemini. So Gemini always wants to see it from more than just one side before we are just, you know, moving out there again in new to gain new and more and deeper insights. What was it really that what is it that we have now discovered about the information over here and everything that we was taught and all that knowledge? You know, is it the right knowledge that we have been taught in schools and universities and so on? What is it really that our belief system is all about? So we are communicating for the last few months now before the nodes are moving into Taurus and Scorpio, and we will see much more communication going on. We will see questions being asked. We will see that there is new information coming out, maybe groundbreaking even, because this is also about destiny. So there will always be some kind of new understanding of things. We have Mercury also talking about understanding. So it's about how we understand things now. How has this over here really affected us in our own small communities? And is that the truth? Is there more out there? More information is coming in. What can we learn from that? Let's have another check with Mercury before we can have another jump of faith and enthusiasm again in the energies over here. So you may find that there is some information also coming in to your personal life, but definitely on a world scale, as I'm reading for the collective here, we will see more information coming out that has some kind of truth about it, because we are talking about where we are truthfully moving right now with our lives. So there is some kind of, like I mentioned before, there's some kind of destiny over this, and what to leave behind. What have we been working through, and what have we learned from that? Could that be all? Is there more? And so more communication will also be taking place. Perhaps you'll find that in your own community also. But on the collective, we will have this chitter chatter. There can also be a lot of gossip coming out. Perhaps that is the lower vibration of Gemini. So a lot of gossip can also come out, so some of it may not be true. That's why we need Mercury to take another turn around that information that is coming out to make sure that it is the truth that we are being told. So let's have a look at what messages and guidance there is coming in for us as we are moving through the last few months in this Gemini Sagittarius construction here. Let's see what's coming out for us. And perhaps also you may want to check out where you have your North nodes to gain more information on that, to go more into that as well. And the card that is coming out for us here is diligence. Okay, so diligence. Steady as we go. Having the greater overlook of things. Flying high. Both Gemini and Sagittarius are masculine energies. They're fast-moving energies. They are the fastest elements of the four elements of fire, earth, air, and water. And where we have air over here, we are very communicative, very chatty. And over here, we are much more physical action oriented. So very fast moving energy. So that is also why some new information can come up, boom, just like that, you know, about what it was that we have held, what we have been limited over in believing or doing over here perhaps, or what it was that we was perhaps tricked into believing or tricked into judging or being tricked into learn. So really we are being told here now to fly high, see the higher perspective of things, which is we are in the air element, which is a perfect reference to the Gemini energies over here. So fly high, keep the bigger perspective still, because that's the Sagittarius energies over here. So we are moving from that, but still keep the bigger perspective of things, you know, see things from more than just one side. Make sure that you keep a fresh outlook on things. Really, also when we are communicating, make sure that we see the bigger picture of things. But we're not flying too high. We can see the ground here, so we're not flying too high. We are leaving the very optimistic, enthusiastic energies over here. So we are trying to also be in connection with the information here coming in, you know, connection to Mother Earth, to being grounded also at the same time. So let's see what else is coming out. There's some more coming out for us here. Just shuffle the cards here to see what is coming out. What is the advice, the guidance, the information for us as we are moving through the last months of this Gemini Sagittarius energies. Yes, and this card is coming out for us. All paths lead home. This is talking about inner authority, intuition, and turning our gaze within. And we can see how there's this kind of stone circle here, and stones always holding great wisdom for us. They are close connected to earth, and so we're standing there now, and perhaps there is a little bit of wind here, a lot of information coming in. Perhaps we don't know where it will lead us, but just know that wherever we are in the circle of life right now, and where we may feel that we are coming into the circle of life with all this information coming in, you know, what is true, what is false, just remember that when we use our intuition and we believe in ourselves, also with the Gemini energies over here, becoming our own gurus, you know, asking ourselves what makes sense, what information do we have. There is something about really being very focused on actual facts coming in, to do some kind of true research on what we're being told, really looking into the information. And when we become, or when we connect with that inner authority, we will know what steps to take. And then we just need to remember that all paths will lead home. We will feel that we are ending up in a place where we can trust ourselves, where we can feel good about ourselves, where we can feel that that we can have free conversations within our communities, where there is nothing hidden from us. So we may be in the storm right now because there's a lot of wind energy, a lot of things are coming up very quickly, very fast, and so we can feel that sometimes we are being caught in that. Then we just need to remember that we need to sit down and check every detail again in the information that is coming up, and also remembering to share with each other, to use our intuition and try to share that with other people. You know, how do you understand this information? How do you see it? Again, duality with Gemini energies over here. Just remember that we will always get to where we are supposed to be at any given moment. So this was what I had for you on the North and South nodes. I hope that you've been inspired to dive deeper into this, and perhaps in your own natal chart find the houses where you have Gemini and Sagittarius energies, to find out where this could have some kind of importance for you on a more personal level. Take much care out there, everyone. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.